Hi, welcome to the Shelley Studio and to the last episode of Abstract August. So I am finishing up the month. I finally got them all done. This one is day 27 and the word prompt was splash. So I kind of made a ring mark with just a random object. It's actually a sponge dauber that I never used for sponge daubing. And decided to, I was thinking of, I've seen a few coffee ring shapes. I was kind of thinking of that sort of image when I started this out. So I'm just putting random splatters around the edges. Not sure how much it looks like a splash. So I decide I would take this stencil. This is a badass stencil from iStencils, and it has a great sort of splash pattern, and I would just put that behind it. And as I did that, I realized that paint is kind of transparent, and wasn't sure how good it would show up once I did a coat to lift it, so I put it on there, and then I decide, yeah, it needs another coat. So I'm going to line that stencil back up, hopefully, and do another coat. I can't remember if I put a little white behind it or not. Yeah, I do. Add a little white to it, just to make it a little bit more opaque. That's the thing I like about using this little teeny jelly plate on an acrylic base. I can flip it over and look at it. And if I'm lucky, that's what it'll look like when I pull the print. So I decided splashes don't usually have holes in them, so I started to fill it up. I didn't want it to be solid black, but maybe it should have been. So I put a little bit of white, kind of making it sort of a gray color. And that's what I went with. Spraying out that excess paint. Alright, so I let that dry. And then I used the Titan Buff to pull the print. And cross our fingers that it pulls well, right? That black is very textured, and when I pull it, a chunk of it does not come off. I keep rubbing. It wants to stick. Very sticky. So I just take a little bit of black paint and cover that up. And a few other spots that I thought were lacking. Alright, so that was day 27, splash. So the next one, that's day 28, the word prompt is dot. So I bet you can't guess what I'm going to do. I was actually going to use bubble wrap, but I didn't want to dig out my bubble wrap. My box with mark making tools is kind of under a stack of stuff, so I decided I would use this stencil with the distressed dots from, I think it's a Tim Holtz, one of his tag shaped stencils. I didn't get enough paint, or I braided it back off, I'm not sure, or maybe it was too transparent. So this time I'm going to lay this down and then take some scrap deli paper. That scrap deli paper is getting kind of interesting. And I'm going to lift the dots out of there. And then I'm going to stencil over it, or paint over the stencil with a darker blue. I need more paint to get in all those holes. I have a hard time doing this technique. I probably don't push hard enough. I think I discovered while doing these that if you push harder, it gets on there better. Alright, so I'm just going to take that and stamp it on. Get a sort of distressed dot look. And of course, I can't leave it just like that. So I have another stencil that has dots on it, polka dots. And I'm just going to put one dot. Oh no, first, did I do the dot? Yes, I did the dot. Oh no, I can't see what I'm doing. So I stamp the 5 and then I do a little dot. There we go. So it's 0.5. Just filling in the color a little bit. And then decide I need to outline it. So I'm using a brush pen. I always worry because sometimes I push a little too hard with those brush pens and get big smeary marks. That's not too bad. That's day 28 dot. It's about coming to the end. It's been a fun series. I'm going to come up with something to store these little pages in. I was going to make them into a book, but I really like them as little individual artworks. So I think I will design a box, like a little box custom for it. Alright, so this is day 29, and guess what the word prompt is? Marks. So I made some little black marks, kind of similar to Robin McClendon's scripting, if you've seen her channel. Love her stuff. And then just marks, little brush marks of, I think that was Titan Buff, and then that's Naples Yellow, I believe. And this one is khaki. But when I'm looking back at the actual image, I don't think I can tell the difference between khaki and Titan Buff. There's a little bit of variation in the print, but you really don't see it. And maybe that's possible. Well, no, I pull it with white, so I don't know. Anyway, I kind of like this one. I like the mark making. If you do it right and you don't get too much paint on the plate, it looks like brush strokes. Otherwise, it looks globby. I just realized that's the opposite way, but I like that way. I think that's the opposite way of how I wrote it, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, day 29 marks. That was fun. Oh, it is kind of opposite because I did it on the gel plate. Anyway. Just confused myself. I use that green. It's fluorescent green. And it's totally transparent. And I don't think you see it in the end. But it's a place to start, right? So, day 30, the word prompt is number. So I have these number stamps that I bought somewhere. I'm sure they were on clearance. They're similar to foam stamps, but I don't think they're probably totally meant for ink, not for paint. And they don't work the same way as foamies do. They are not reversed. I think they're made for ink. So you stamp directly on your object. Because when you put those down, they're going to be backwards. That's okay. Should have just left it there, right? But no, it's not enough. So I take some green, this green craft paint. I don't remember if it was forest green, it's dark green, whatever it is. And I decide to draw a number and forget that I should draw it backwards. See, I just realized it. Oh well, it's going on anyway. Why not? So then I decide, yeah, I gotta do another layer. Let's do another layer. Can't have that big backward 7 be the focal point. So I'm just doing 3, 2, and the number sign again because they're out. And this one is Naples yellow, adding a little texture to it so we can see a little bit more of that dark green. How many layers is that? 1, 2, 3, 4? 1. Something like that. Anyway, a lot of layers. Give it more depth, right? So nothing's really standing out for me, so I decide to use the symbol. Call it the pound sign, right? Or a number sign? Yeah. There we go. Just a little accent. And yeah, I got a little black on there. Don't know when that happened, but it's dry already. And that is day 30, and I'm just going to sign my name right through that paint so it looks like it's on purpose. Number. Alright, so this is the last one. I'm kind of sad this is the last one, but, you know, it's hard to do this every day. It's hard to do art every day. I do art a lot as it is. So this I'm doing, you know, those magazine print techniques. I've never really mastered it, but I thought, we'll give it a try. So this is just a black and white, old-fashioned looking girl. I'm just going to clean up around the edges. Oh, and the word is question. She kind of looks like she's questioning, so I thought that would be good. And that blue color is a little thick in comparison to everything else. And it doesn't blend very well, you'll see. So I do that, and then I look, see the marks. So I try to avoid the girl and just kind of smear it around a little bit more, trying to get it more blended. So she came off, yay! I decide to go around her with a little bit of white. I know she's not necessarily an abstract image, but there's some abstract stuff going on. Right? The background. Something else that's going to go on. Anyway, I just kind of wanted her to show up a little bit so she didn't get lost, but I didn't want to paint her, so I'm just painting the background. There we go. And I felt it needed something else, so I'm taking out one of my, I believe this one, yeah, I'm pretty sure this one is a Robin McClendon scripting stencil, and I'm just going to put it on here and stencil it on. After doing that other one with scripting, I thought I was in the mood for scripting, so this one I'm just going to do as a stencil. I'm just trying to line it up. Get a little bit of black paint. And it's a really thick stencil, so it's kind of hard to get the paint in there, I've decided. Let's see. Looks a little bit splodgy, but not too bad. I hope you have all been enjoying this series. If you have, leave me a thumbs up. If this is the first one you've seen, there's a playlist in the description box below that will link you to the others. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, share it with your friends. And thank you all for watching. Have a great day.